Brian back here. We're going to take a quick look at Turbo here, and we haven't covered it for a while, but we put some main support levels out here the last time we did look at it. All right, it's been a little while. These are monthly candles. All right, this has held down through here. Actually, this should be down just a hair. Right over here was our closing candles, right, and it came down and touched them areas and has held. Now, if we zoom in a little bit, we come in on a weekly. Let's look at the RSIs while we're at it. Relative Strength Index. All right, 36 and 38. You got your weekly flipping bearish here. The monthly, right down dead to flat on the bottom. All right, and your daily. Daily is trying to push to the upside here. All right, and yeah, they're both bullish. Okay, now if we zoom in on this thing, if we come in right on a daily, let's go on a weekly here. No, this will work. All right, right through here we have our Elliott waves. Okay, I love Elliott waves because they work. Right, you got 1, 2, 3. This could be 4, and maybe one more push down. All right, I could see that happening. Now in this wave down through here, you got 5 waves. You got 1, 2, 3. Possibly 4 and 5, or you right back, where was it? Yeah, right there, 4, 5. All right, something like that. All right, now this low in here has to hold. Okay, let's move this down to where it actually stopped. Trust me, it's very, very close. Back over here. All right, you can see this wick coming down here. This tends to be a pretty good area down through here, right? And it came down, came up, bounced back up pretty good, but then rolled over. Had a decent bounce, rolled over. Bounce, roll over. Bounce, roll over. Bounce, so far holding, right? Now let's zoom in a little bit. Now what would be the target for this wave, right? Even on the bigger, let's go out on a weekly here so I can show you a bigger, it'll make a little bit more sense. You guys out there know how to count Elliott waves can see this. If you don't know how, sign up for a level 3 membership and come join us. You get 10 hours of videos to teach you this stuff, and you get a link to the Discord to come trade with us. Man, we're in there every day. I've been in there all day with them guys. I love it. You'll learn a lot for 15 bucks. All right, you know, if you're not interested in that, there's a link for buy me a coffee if you feel like it. I'd appreciate that. So right here you can see 5 waves out here on a weekly. Okay, this target for this. Okay, if we go here, we're not using that wick over there. That's right here's a close, and we come up. Right, we got these wicks. Do they count? You know, this thing tends to have some major wicks. Right, you look up through here. Look at these big wicks. Right. Now that's going to be the question here. All right, are they going to count? Well, the measurement, if this fails and comes down through, all right, you want to see this hold right here at 0008669. Okay, you want to see that area hold. If it fails, all right, look for a target down to roughly there, 56.46. Pretty close down here. Now it's 56.46 match up with anything. Let's see. Let's pull it down. Oh yeah, you got some closes over here on the weekly. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 closes over here. You got a big wick over here coming up. You know, very possible if that ends up failing down here at this bottom, 87.99. It's so close in there. You know, if that takes out that, look for it to come down here, you know, possibly to 56.46. If it holds this and starts bouncing, right, you know, which it could, right, it definitely could. Weekly getting bearish though, I don't know, you know, I'm counting more than likely another push down here. That would complete some Elliott waves, right? But if it does start to push to the upside, you know, if it comes up here and takes out Let's see here. I don't like all these wicks with this thing. Look how high that thing goes. You know, rather use maybe price in here or something. That's the crazy thing with this thing. You know, we're at a 382 right now. You know, that's a typical place to fail. You know, and inside here you would have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside. All right, it gets rejected here and starts rolling over, takes out this low. You know, it keeps changing every time I put it in here, but it's all pretty close in here, right? 87.48, 72. It's all pretty close in there. You know, call it 87, right? It comes down there and takes that out. You know, look for a push down here. That's where we were talking about, right through here. 53.36. 56.83, right in this area right here, you know, where these closes are at. Now if it comes out here, up here, and ends up taking out these tops over here, you know, 11.5, starts taking out those areas and gets up here, you know, breaks through that 13, you know, you could get a pretty decent rally out of this for sure. If it starts breaking to the upside, but don't count on that right now, especially with this possibly rolling over. Okay, just be careful here. Watch for a rejection here, and I start to roll over. If it takes out this low, look for it to come down to this area here, down here. All right, let's put a price label down here, right about there. Okay, 56.40. Then you have your low up here. So hard to get it right on that because it's so touchy through here. 87 starts breaking down through there. Look for a push down towards here. Okay, now you come up here and start taking out, you know, these higher levels up here, 12.316. That's a good indication that this thing, you know, could be starting higher, and you could be starting, you know, an Elliott wave count up. You know what I mean? 3, 4, 5, starting to run to the upside. Okay, if it starts breaking these levels, takes out this low, look for down here, takes out this high here, it's going to make a nice run. All right, Bitcoin, I'm sure that might have a lot to do with it here. Bitcoin's going to make a really big move pretty soon. It's over here wedging up. Look at this wedge on this thing. You know, it's been on a daily. Look at this. You know, if it comes up here and takes out, you know, 74, 75, and breaks this trend line. Oops, I got to readjust it. See, when you come out on different time frames, you got to readjust your trend line. You know, it moves on you, monthly, the daily, the weekly, and right down through there. But it comes up and takes 75 out. You could get a nice run out of Bitcoin. You know, that's going to start making a pretty good run to the upside. If it takes out this low down here, let's mark it. All right, it's just easier doing it like that, right, instead of telling you, because that stuff gets confusing. Price label. You know, it comes down here and takes out this 60,000. Look for it to come down. You know, the measured move for it is down right around 50. Right, let's take a fib. Right about 50,000. Okay, and that would be your target to the downside. Work that off. Now it comes up here and breaks that 75, 74, 75, right up through here. You know, Bitcoin's going to run, you know, up to 80s, possibly 90. It's hard to tell. Could get a pretty decent run out of this thing. Now, an Elliott wave count over here. You know, take a target. Whoops. How the heck did I get that? Alright, that's where we got run a daily. Okay, you come down through here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down. The target for that fifth wave down here was, you know, was about 70. And on the weekly, it did stop there, but it ended up dropping a little further. It's been hanging around that area, right? 69, 70, hanging around there. The question is, you know, is it gonna hold? Is it gonna hold these lows? It starts breaking through this wedge. That's gonna give me an indication it's heading down, you know, and that's up towards is 66, 65, 66,000. You start breaking them areas, look for a push down towards 50. All right. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Please hit that like and subscribe. Consider buying me a coffee. I'd appreciate that. Or sign up and join our Discord. You'll love it. Have a great day, everybody.